Hello, my name is Lucy Donald. I'm an artist working in Buryport in Carmarthenshire. I'm going to be showing you some techniques based on one of my favourite art movements, the Bauhaus. I find that the Bauhaus inspires my work constantly, and I'm sure you'll find some techniques in this series of workshops that inspire your practice. So in this activity, we're going to be inspired by Laszlo Moholy-Nagy again, and these are some of his collages using sort of dynamic composition, repeated shapes, scale to suggest distance, and they remind me very much of an artist that I greatly admire called John Stezaker, and his photo collages look like this. They make use of, you can see there's been a postcard placed on top of this photograph of two people with their heads close together, possibly kissing or about to kiss, or whatever's happening there. But he's very subtle in the way that he lines up one photograph with the postcard, so you can see it perfectly lines up with the fringe there of the head of the woman, and then down here it lines up with the hair again, and you can see it happens with the male's head as well, absolutely brilliantly and precisely lined up so that it plays a trick with our eyes. And this is another John Stezaker, and again, you can see he's lined up the postcard exactly with this woman's hair, and it has a similar sort of texture. And it even suggests there's shadows that almost could be eyes, and this shadow here lines up perfectly with the edge of the nose. So it's really, really detailed, really precise, absolutely fantastic work, really exciting. John Stezaker reminds me very much of Dada sort of collages, but actually he's inspired very much by René Magritte, the surrealist, and I think you can sort of get a sense of, you know, the kind of inspiration that Magritte and influence that Magritte has on John Stezaker. I've found some images that I thought might be quite good to collage. I found two images from magazines, two images of Marilyn Monroe, which I thought might be quite good to work with. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them as yet. But I also thought I'd show you this example from a similar magazine. I've cut up, you can see that this was at one point, this was a kind of fashionable woman wearing a beautiful dress in a sort of 50s style. And I started to sort of almost like deconstruct the shape of her. I've thrown this piece away because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it, but I've got this image underneath, and just quite by chance I was sort of positioning the cut pieces that I had of the woman wearing the dress, and some interesting things were starting to happen. So I cut her face along the shadow. This part of her face was in light, so I kind of used my scissors to follow the light along her face and down the dress, and I came out with some quite interesting shapes which I can either include in my piece, and I can sort of change the thickness of her, so I could make her a sort of larger lady. That almost looks kind of skeletal, doesn't it, with the face there? But it's just a matter of, once you've got some cut pieces, you can actually start to create quite interesting images just by moving the shapes around. So if I didn't have that piece there, would it still look as interesting? Okay, so just as a starting point, And now I'm going to start cutting these, well, either one of these images and see what I come up with. So I've cut into the image. I've removed some of her top. I've cut away some of her face. And then I found an image underneath that, having kind of moved the cutout around a little bit, I think I quite like what I have here. So I think that's quite a strong composition. So this is my final set of collages, just using old magazine pictures and a pair of scissors.